Hi everybody, I'm Bruce. Welcome back to the shadow beside me. Last time we left Clear Valley Drive, my grandfather Sam had sold a car wash, and before long it was time for our family to move again. This time we were headed to Woodland Hills. I still remember driving there, the house off a valley circle. And to get there, you had to drive up this huge hill, you know? It's funny. It seemed like my dad always found houses that were on hills. As we drove up, I kept wondering what our new house was going to look like. Then we got to the top, and there it was, a light green house on the right side. I remember thinking, well, I guess this is home now. When we walked inside, the house had 3 bedrooms. My sister Joan had her own, of course, and my brother Donald had his own, and my brother Robert and I shared a 3rd bedroom. I can still picture that room today. The walls were painted green, and we had this thick, plush wall-to-wall carpet. Back then, the houses just had a different feel. The colors were warmer, the carpet was thicker, everything seemed comfortable. Then my dad surprised Robert and I with something I never expected. He bought us a pinball machine, and it was like, the description would be like a dominoes kind of game. Can you imagine that? A pinball machine right in our room. We thought we were the luckiest kids in the world. We spent hours playing it. We also had fluorescent lights with those black light posters that glowed when you turned the lights on. Back then, that was the coolest thing ever. I remember lying in bed looking around that room and thinking it couldn't get much better. Once I got settled in, I did what I always did. I went outside to see who lived around us. Next door lived a brother and sister, and their family was German, and before long I got to know both of them. Behind our house lived a boy named Craig. Craig and his family were Jewish. As a kid, I always thought he looked just like an Indian because he had very dark skin and he wore no tennis shoes. Now, here's the funny part. Craig and I didn't become friends by introducing ourselves. Somehow, I don't even remember how we ended up throwing rocks at each other. Yeah, a full-blown rock fight. Looking back then, I have no idea what we were thinking. Kids do some pretty crazy things. After a few minutes, Craig's mom came outside at about the same time my mom did. And Craig's mom's name was Beverly. Instead of getting into an argument about what happened, they started talking. That was the very first day that they met. What's amazing is that my mom and Beverly became best friends, and they stayed friends for the rest of my mother's life. It's funny how life works. A rock fight between 2 boys ended up creating a lifelong friendship between 2 families. But the day wasn't over yet. While all of this was happening, our Great Dane, Zane, got loose. If you've never seen a Great Dane run, it's something you'll never forget. That dog took off like a racehorse. My dad jumped into the car and started chasing him through the neighborhood. I remember watching him drive around looking for Zan, and it seemed like it took forever. Zan was fast, really fast, and finally my dad caught him and brought him home. Looking back then, that the whole day almost feels like a movie. I met a new friend by getting into a rock fight. My mother met one of the best friends because of it, and my dad spent half the day chasing the Great Dane through the Woodland Hills. Those are the kind of memories that stayed with us forever. When I think about it, Woodland Hills, I just don't remember the dark green house, actually light house. I remember the green bedroom and the pinball machine and the glowing Craig's Beverly, my mom and Zan running like a horse down the street. It's funny, when you're a kid, you just don't realize you're making memories. You're just living your life. Then one day you wake up and 50 years have gone by, and somehow you can still remember every bit of it. Thanks for walking beside me today. In the next episode, I'll tell you more stories about the Woodland Hills before another move changed my life once again. I'll see you next time on The Shadow Beside Me.